Well, after a hiatus, I'm officially back with the wide world of game shows, and today we're going to talk about another great game. Let's make a deal. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews presents Wide World of Game Shows. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to the Wide World of Game Shows, a new series created by me, the Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So I'm back with this here series, and today's game show I will be talking about is Let's Make a Deal. Okay, so Let's Make a Deal. This has probably been a really fun game show. And it still is to this day. It was an American game show that originated in the US in 1963 and has since been produced in many countries throughout the world. The program was created and produced by Stephen Hayes and Monty Hall, who of course would serve as its host for nearly 30 years. The format of the game involves selected members of the studio audience, referred to as traders, making deals with the host. In most cases, a trader will be offered something of value and given a choice of whether to keep it or exchange it for a different item. The program's defining game mechanism is that the other item is hidden from the trader until that choice is made. The trader does not know if they are getting something of equal or greater value or a price that is referred to as a zonk, and purposely chosen to be of little or no value to the trader. The game is also known for audience members who dress in outrageous or crazy costumes in order to increase their chances of being selected as a trader. Anyway, the game originally premiered on NBC in 1963 as part of the daytime schedule, and later on it moved on to ABC after it got canceled by NBC and remained on there until 76. But during its ABC run, it would also be showing syndication from 71 to 77. But after it was canceled by ABC, but it returned in 1980 and 81. Now, of course, the first syndicated version of the game was distributed by ABC Films and then by its successor, World Vision Enterprises. Now, then in 1980, a revival of the series based in Hall's native Canada was launched and aired in syndication on both American and Canadian stations, unfortunately only for one season, and was produced by Catalina Productions and distributed by Rhodes Productions in the US, the partner company to Catalina. In the fall of '84, Hall returned again in syndication in a third run of this, now known as the all-new Let's Make a Deal. Though only ran for 2 seasons, however, and was distributed by Telepictures, well, before they even merged with Lorimar. Now, but then NBC tried their hand at it again twice. The first was a daytime series that aired in 1990 that was the first not to be produced or hosted by Mr. Hall. Instead, the show was a production of Ron Greenberg and Dick Clark, and featured Bob Hilton, who was best known for announcing other game shows such as Blockbusters for most of its early run, and of course he also substituted announced for The Joker's Wild and lots of other games. However, Hall would eventually return as guest host after Hilton's dismissal. A primetime edition was launched in 2003, but unfortunately drew poor ratings and had reporter Billy Bush as host. And it got canned instantly after 3 of its 5 episodes had aired. Now, there was a partial remake called Big Deal, hosted by Mark DiCarlo, and that came on Fox, but, well, I never knew that one even existed. The show would later get to become one of the main games to be part of the summer series known as Game Show Marathon on CBS, which Ricky Lake hosted. But however, 3 years later, Let's Make a Deal returned in 2009 on CBS after the cancellation of their long-running sub-Guiding Light, which henceforth would finally give CBS 2 games to be aired on there for the first time in years, because The Price is Right and Family Feud were the last 2 games to even air, to air on there, and then soon after Family Feud left CBS, The Price is Right still existed. And soon, well, they finally got one back. In 2020, there would also be a primetime version announced, and it would be done for a few times. And I caught that a few times. So, anyway, I really do love this game and what have you. So, anyway, let's see here. Now, before I go on with this, of course, the current version of Let's Make a Deal is hosted by Wayne Brady. Of course, doing this aside from doing Whose Line Is It Anyway. He eventually did a pretty good job. He still does a pretty good job. Now, also, here's some other things I gotta talk about the show. Of course, we have the announcers. The original announcer for the series was Wendell Niles, who only did for the first year in '63, and then was replaced by Jay Stewart, who would later go on to be the announcer for the later seasons of the Joker's Wild and Tic Tac Toe in syndication. Now, he remained with the game until the end of the syndicated run in '77. Chuck Chandler announced the Canadian-produced series, and soon Brian Cummings did the first season of the all-new Let's Make a Deal, and then disc jockey Dean Gostick took over for the second season. Dean Muccio, if I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize, did the 1990 version, and Vince DeGeneres, who I believe is no relation to Ellen DeGeneres, did the short-lived 2003 version. Now, of course, Let's Make a Deal would have been big without the models, too. The well-known model was Carol Merrill, who stayed with the series from its debut until '77. Now, there were many models on the '80s series, though. That included Maggie Brown, Julie Hall, who only appeared in the Canadian version, Karen LaPierre, and Melanie Vince, who appeared in the all-new Let's Make a Deal. For the '90s series, the show featured Georgia Settle and identical twins Elaine and Diane Klimaszewski, who later gained fame as the Coors Light twins. Now, before I get to the CBS version, Monty Hall would actually return to Let's Make a Deal twice. And what have you on Let's Make a Deal. Anyway, but in 2013, which was the show's 50th anniversary, Carol Merrill returned as well, which that was good. Now, when the show came to CBS, Alison Fiore was the show's original model, only lasting for much of the first season. Before moving on, and in Las Vegas before the show moved to Los Angeles. During the 2013 to 2014 season, Danielle Dembski was the show's model for most of the season, and sometimes she does she had more recently done substitute modeling during the 2019 to 2020 season because the current model, of course, is the absolutely cute Tiffany Coin. Oh yeah, I left the announcer out. The announcer of the CBS version is Jonathan Mangum, who I actually found out I didn't even know this though. He and Wayne Brady actually did make appearances on Nickelodeon's Clarissa Explains It All. I didn't even know that because I haven't revisited much of that show in a long time, considering that show's currently on Paramount Plus. So anyway, yep. Now, of course, Dembski had to substitute for Coin while she was on maternity leave. But anyway, yep, I really do enjoy it. The music's not too bad. The theme songs. And of course, keyboardist Cat Gray has provided in-studio musical accompaniment. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied here for the CBS version. So anyway, well, now like I said, they do all sorts of things. They pick prizes from where if it's behind the current 1, current 2, or current 3. They also have a small box. They have big box. Where if it's behind something, it might be something good. It could be a zonk, or it could be something even better. Now on the CBS run, they would add even more stuff like a tiny box, a small current, even prize bags. Oh, the list goes on. Now, soon later on, as the credits start to roll in the original version, and before the show ends on CBS, they do a little something called Quickie Deals. Yes, where they can offer a contestant a certain amount of money, what have you. We might see Wayne, Tiffany, or Jonathan do some, maybe just one of them if they don't have much time. But if they do have a little time, we get to see all three of them make a little quickie deal. Now, sometimes CBS will post information on the show's Twitter address days before taping to encourage audience members to carry certain items in their pockets in order to win an additional $100 to $500 when Wayne, Jonathan, or Tiffany approaches them at the end of the show and asks to see such items. Pretty cool, huh? Now, there's also various games they can play similar to that of The Price is Right almost. Now, when has the most amount of money is chosen first to go for the big deal at the end of the game before the show ends. But now for the original run, they have two different players, but in the CBS version, they have only one person to go for it. So they have to pick the door now, which it could be behind door 1, door 2, or door 3. So anyway, there's some very good prize there, and there are no zonks either, right? So every prize is good. Anyway, now later on in let me see here. I'm trying to find this. Now during the 75 to 76 season, winners of the big deal were offered a chance to win the super deal, which that ranged from a big amount of money. Yeah. Now this would also be a limited event for the current version as well. They did all sorts of other things. Mega Deal Week, Triptastic, and even a mashup week with The Price is Right. Yeah. Can you believe that? Yeah. I will say that this show is just so good. I sometimes do get to see it, not a whole lot because I'm still at work when it's on, but I might catch it if I'm off work, if I feel like it, or maybe when I'm, or if I'm just up to watching something real fun. So anyway, Let's Make a Deal is just so much fun to watch. I'm sure a lot of y'all watch this show to this day. It's become one of my favorites. So anyway, This version of Let's Make a Deal, the CBS version, has been airing for now 12 years, which that's longer than any other version of this game to this day. Well, well, sort of, in ways. I mean, because the way I see it, it's kind of dead even, well, almost dead even with the original run for network television. As a matter of fact, let me check. Yeah, it's almost close, just 1 year behind. Because overall, combining the NBC and ABC runs, overall it was 13 seasons. But I probably don't include syndicate version. But anyway, if you are a fan of Let's Make a Deal, if you've watched the show, tell me what you think of the show in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Next time on the Wide World of Game Shows, I'm going to talk about the underrated Hot Potato with Bill Cullen. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this, check out some of these recent episodes of the Wide World of Games shows. In the upper left-hand corner is the episode I did for the Joker's Wild. The upper right-hand corner is the episode I did for Card Sharks. And the bottom left-hand corner is the previous episode I did, and that being on The Price is Right. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., and the wide world of games shows, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.